Good evening, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm just going to bring you some news, and hopefully I won't get cut off here because I think I have an alarm set, but I'm not sure when. Anyway, thank you, subscriber, for letting me know that, my favorite Bureau of Instigation, they've decided that they're going to change how they view us. It really kind of baffles the mind. But I think what it is they can't call us terrorists anymore because we do not fit the description. And obviously, if we are, then we should be on their website, right? So guess what they're doing? The FBI Terrorist Screening Center, they have changed their name to the Threat Screening Center because they are not combating any terrorists, are they? No. Only combating threats to their sorry-ass egos, right? That's what happens with malignant narcissists and psychopaths. Anybody who disses them, who disagrees with them, who pisses them off, who they don't like, is a threat to their egos. So we need to change it to the Threat Screening Center. So, wow, that really expands that database now, doesn't it? I can think of any number of things that are a threat. But of course, none of the threats that I would mention are even remotely on their list. Threats like Dr. Wilson, an alleged veterinarian, but we cannot find her license online anywhere. We don't even have a first name for her. She has the audacity to tell me to Google the address and then hangs up on me, refuses to give me her mailing address, which is so unprofessional. And then when you search online, it's so hard to find anything. There's no Facebook page. There's no online presence for this veterinary service. So yes, I spent my evening filing complaints against the veterinarian. And I hope that some actions are taken against her. And if for some reason these agencies are contacted by the criminals and say, oh, no, we'll bribe you, we'll coerce you, we'll whatever it is that they do behind our backs. I'll just keep posting about this. And it's not just this, but this is a clear indication of how we are slandered behind our backs. I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall. I've never met her. I've never even been to Annville. I've never spoken to her. I have never contacted that office. So the fact that I contacted it for the first time today, and I was given a hard time from the moment I placed the call, which wasn't even recorded, because I was just making a phone call just like anybody else. And then when I started to sense that there was something going on, I flipped on the digital recorder, which you can hear is extremely fuzzy. I have never had that kind of fuzziness on my digital recorder before. But you want to hear something else. So I input the name, address, phone number of the person I spoke to file the complaint with their email address into my phone. It disappeared. Not once. I input it again. It disappeared. And yes, I did save it. 3 times it disappeared. Also, I have a Yelp account. All of that information is gone from my phone. 0. So these criminals are doing everything inhumanly possible to violate my rights. Intercept my mail, my phone, anything I do to cover their sorry asses. The real threats are my neighbors. The real threats are criminals that drop animals on this property. It's called animal cruelty. You're dumping animals on my property, and then they're not spayed or neutered or vaccinated, and then when I try to get a vet appointment, you don't allow me to get a vet appointment? Well, guess what? It's not going to be my problem. And Jezebel with the blue lights on, your black cat is getting returned to you. It was on your property. I don't want it anymore. Since you have your friendship with Dr. Wilson, go get it spayed on your own money. All the gift card money you got harassing me. Okay? So yeah, you'll get your black cat returned to you very soon. And I will not be responsible for any other animal that's dumped here. So I'm going to give a shout out to the local government. You keep dumping animals on the property? You think it's funny? And then you have idiots come on here, cloaked individuals that are caught on camera, raking up around my trees, exposing tree roots, and then dumping everything that they scraped above my ditch into the ditch to clog my side of the ditch. Yes, it is called real estate mobbing for a reason. My property is being vandalized and mobbed, and I do have before and after photos. And I am not going to shut up about it. And like I said, between this vet, which was the icing on the cake, because I will be reporting this vet anywhere possible. I'll be posting it everywhere. Because I also want people in my town, in this county, to hear the interaction. You know, it's different when somebody reads something. They can say anything, but when they hear the words coming out of that bitchy vet, some people are not going to like what she did. Because it's wrong. And the way people are slandering me behind my back, well, guess what? When they do that, they're spreading false information. They're spreading lies. Lies of omission and flat out lies. What I'm going to do is spread the truth about Dr. Wilson and her practice, and Mackenzie and anybody else that answered the phone at that despicable veterinary service. Even when I spoke to the complaint board, they said, well, you know, if she's acting that way on the phone, do you really want to bring your animals there anyway? And I said, well, I hear what you're saying. Under normal circumstances, no, I would not. But where are there other veterinarians around here? There are hardly any doctors, no vets. They're closing down the pharmacy. Why? I'm going to tell you why. There is nothing here for anybody except land. You've got neighbors who don't want to grow, who combat war against one person because they're small-minded. They have a low level of consciousness, low IQ, low EQ, low. The property is handed down to them. They don't value anything. They're predators. They have a predatory mindset. You have a predatory mindset in a community, it won't grow. It'll eventually die out here. And when I move, hopefully I will get somebody that will be more than happy to put them all in their place. So anyway, my favorite bureau is changing the terrorist screening center to the threat screening center. So isn't that an interesting change of name? But I'm going to tell you, favorite Bureau of Instigation, bad timing. It's Mercury retrograde. You made a really big mistake. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't change a name during a retrograde period because, you know, It could have really negative consequences in about 4 weeks from now. Just saying, you should consult with your local astrologer instead. So anyway, yes. So I actually, when I called this vet, I didn't want an appointment right away. I wasn't going to book an appointment until April, until Mercury went direct. But here they are giving me a song and a dance. Well, we don't have any appointments. It's like, okay, I'm not looking for one immediately. How about one in the future? Oh, well, we don't book in the future. Really? You don't take future appointments? You don't work with rescues? Okay. So I caught you in a whole bunch of lies that everybody now can hear. It's not even hearsay. I'm not even telling a story. You can listen to it for yourself about Dr. Wilson, the Annville Veterinary Clinic or Hospital. It used to be called Noah's Ark in Annville, Kentucky. So yeah, I did post it online in a few places so far, and I did file 2 complaints already. And actually, their name is not located on the Better Business Bureau website. It's not a business recognized yet by the Better Business Bureau. So I made a suggestion. So when they add this veterinary service to the Better Business Bureau database, I too will be filing a complaint with them. And anybody else that feels compelled to file a complaint against this doctor, feel free. In fact, the phone number's up there. You can feel free to call this Dr. Wilson and tell them what you think about the phone call, about her practices. It's 606-364-8255. Eastern Time. 606-364-8255. And they're located at 3442 KY 3630 Annville, Kentucky 40402. And like I said, I've looked everywhere online. There's no email address. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. How could you be a veterinarian and have no veterinarian presence online? So anyway, that's my little rant about that. But let's see. We're going to mention some comments that I received here. Let me see. I want to go to the video because people have left some very good comments here. And I hope everybody's doing well. And please leave a comment down below if you have attempted to make veterinary appointments and have been turned down. And I'm not locating it right now. I went into, let's see if it's right here. 1 second. Because people did leave messages. I was hung up on repeatedly. And then 1 second. 1 second. I'm in the wrong account. I went to my Targeted Pets account to upload the videos there also. So just so you know, I do have like a couple of backup channels. One is Targeted Pets, and one is Alternative Homesteading 2. So let's see. This person wrote, I apologize for taking long here. I've got a very slow laptop. And I did receive a laptop from a subscriber, and thank you so much. It's actually still in the box because I have not had time. So Con Artist writes, hi Lorraine, your video demonstrates the extent of the program's infiltration within the public and private sectors and the program's use of a denial of service regarding TIs. Much appreciated. And Paul here writes, wow, The vet was completely unprofessional. I'm so sorry, Lorraine. I would definitely contact the BBB and also go onto Google and Yelp and leave a complete review of what happened, and obviously a rating that reflects their atrocious service and hostile attitude toward you. I have a lot of respect for what you do trying to help animals. It's awful because you're targeted and you can't even get proper help for your animals or animals dumped on your property. I was shocked by how rude that vet was. I shouldn't be, as I've encountered shocking rudeness, but it's truly despicable that this individual is refusing to help these cats. And I agree. I agree. And then somebody else writes, oh, I wonder who she's friends with. Maybe that certain nurse. And I replied, no, I think it's Jezebel, diagonally across the street. You know, the one who kept calling me to take one of these cats. She's the same person who, when I mentioned targeting to her, she said, oh, you mean that I could do anything I want to you and get away with it? Yeah, that's kind of a amoral person. Yes. So, and then she says, so let me get this straight. She wants you to take the cats, but she doesn't want you to be able to take care of them? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless she is deliberately trying to frustrate you. I think you have the best idea. Return to sender the cats, unfortunately. You can't save the whole cat world, Lorraine. And I agree. The cat was not originally on my property. It was on her property. And she begged me for 2 days, claiming first it was mine. No, it's not my cat. And it's still not my cat. I can't take care of it. So yes, return to sender. Address is known. Miss Jezebel, you'll be getting it returned. Yeah, this is the same woman who had the audacity to photograph the inside of my schoolhouse here and then claim it as her own, because the little schoolhouse that was on my property just miraculously ended up on hers. I found out about that after I moved here and was wondering, how did it get there? Like, who actually physically moved it from my property to hers? But nevertheless, she went online to talk about the schoolhouse on her property, but only used the photos of the interior of mine. Yeah. And then, you know, when she gave me my first chickens, and one, you know, with the broken leg, and after my mother passed away, and while I'm taking off in the air, I call to see how everything is. She says, oh, your chicken's gone. Well, how did my chicken disappear? The one with the broken leg, the one that I healed, yeah, disappeared. Have no idea where it was. And then when I came back, Buddha had been what appears to be kicked or beaten or something, and then he died a couple of weeks later. Holes were drilled in the saddle of the cat's building. All of this within 4 days of my being away. Yeah, and it's the same woman who gaslit me when she loaned me a green chicken feeder. It was in perfect condition. And I said to myself, you know, I'm just going to take a photo of this just in case these criminals do something to it. Well, guess what? Overnight, they did. They damaged it. So I text messaged her. And I said, you know, I'm really sorry. I'll buy you another one. She said, oh, no, don't you remember I told you it was damaged? No, you didn't tell me it was damaged. It wasn't. I've got a photo of it in perfect condition. Oh, and this is the same woman that would call me up and say, I think your cat's up in my tree. How did my cat get to your property up your tree? And literally, within days of my moving here, my cat, Callie, perfectly healthy and kind of a shy cat, Jezebel pulls up into my driveway, 10 p.m., pitch black, with somebody else, another female in the car. How would she even know that it's my cat? She says, I think your cat's on my property. I said, well, what does it look like? She said, well, it kind of looks like this. And she took a picture of it. I said, well, that could be my cat, but I can't really see. I said, I'll come over there tomorrow and check it out. She said, you're not going to go now? I said, no, it's nighttime. It's dark. I'm not going to leave my other animals here. She was totally pissed off that I wasn't going to leave my driveway in the pitch black to go across the street. She was not living there yet. So the next morning, I get my trap, food and everything, and I go there, and my cat, my healthy cat, is dead behind her house. I took photos of that cat, front, rear, back, and side. That cat was either poisoned or killed with directed energy, because there were no marks on that cat's body, and she was only a few years old. But I'm going to tell you, though, I'm going to say it again, that national feral cat cartel, the national one in Maryland whose name I won't mention, the one whose original founder stepped down and somebody else is taking over now, you know, the malignant narcissist, you know, the sadist. Well, anyway, they took photos of all my cats. They sent me an email. Oh, your cats are so beautiful. Can we take photos of them for our media, for our calendar, etc.? I said, sure. I felt honored, right? I spent 2 days with a photographer who's actually the husband of another cat rescue person at another agency. Well, lo and behold, he was just a photographer, and they actually hired him full time after he took all those photos of my cats. They refused to allow me to have the photos. They actually told me to not tell anybody that they were my cats. They wouldn't recognize that they were Freya's cat rescue cats. Oh, that's the same woman that called me at 7 p.m. on a Friday evening after I wrote a letter about a donation to the rescue, or at least, you know, naming us or whatever. Not only after they photographed our cats, but after we adopted into our colony 8 cats that they trapped during one of their TNR mishaps. Yeah, it was a mishap because they trapped a bunch of cats, 15 actually, but they never got permission from the owner to return the cats to the same location. So after all those cats were trapped, they had nowhere else to dump them. They put out a plea. And good old little old Lorraine here took 8 of them. And guess what? One of them was not a feral cat. One of them must have belonged to a local person whose cat was out for the day, minding his own damn business, got caught up. He used to jump in my car, rub all over me, totally not feral. He belonged to someone. And I was working with their attorney at the time to try to find the owner for this cat. But guess what happens? Shortly thereafter, that attorney resigned. I think she resigned. I don't think she was fired, but yeah, she resigned and went somewhere else. That's what happens when you work with this feral cat cartel. But after all those photos were taken, it's almost like that was their hit list. They went after every cat they photographed. And they're all dead. Every cat they photographed is dead. Some of them are only a couple of years old. So this is actually going on a lot longer than I anticipated. And I apologize for the rant. But for all you cat lovers out there, all of you people that care about animals, it does not matter if you're targeted or not. These vets, doctors, they take an oath. They're licensed. This is what they do for a living. I wasn't going there for services for me. I was going there for services for the cats that were dumped on this property. To do the right thing by them, and them charging almost $200 to spay A cat for a nonprofit? That would be almost $400 for 2 cats. Absolutely absurd. I lived in Manalapan, New Jersey. Everything is expensive there. My vet, well, she was wonderful anyway. She charged me $75 for a female. And she would clean the ears, cut the nails, no extra charge. She charged me $60 for a guy, for a boy cat. Same thing. Why? She probably spayed and neutered 30, 40 of my cats at one time. I don't even know anymore. Because I would spay and neuter cats that were dumped there. Some of them were mine, some of them weren't. They all ended up to be mine. But no, here, almost $200. Yeah. But yet she wouldn't take my money for these cats. That's okay. I will not be the good guy anymore. Any animal that is dumped here, I will eventually trap and return to sender. Wherever that is. And Jezebel, beware. You too will be getting 1 black cat back. Give me a hard time about it? Good luck. So anyway, just because I haven't posted on TikTok in a really long time, I made sure to post the video recording the vet. So I want everybody to know what a bitchy vet this is and how she's turning away. She will not spay cats that are dumped. Now I know why. I feel bad for the people that live around here. I do. Because this is not a wealthy neighborhood. There are probably little old ladies around here that would love to have a cat. And get them spayed or neutered or whatever. And you think they can afford almost $200 to spay a cat? Now I know why people are dumping animals right and left. These are rip-off people. Hey, take me back to Manalapan, New Jersey. The vets are wonderful there. Even as a targeted person, I never had problems with vets there. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this is Jackson County, Kentucky. Hashtag vet. Hashtag Jackson County. Hashtag real estate mobbing. So beware, everybody. You too will be getting return to sender. All the animals that you dump here will go back to you. And karma is on its way to you guys. My mouth to the universe, back to you. Because like I've said it before, like I don't know all the shitty things that you've done to other people. I only know what you've done to me. So the universe already has a plan for you. Mapped out a plan for you. Based upon all your dirty deeds. And I guarantee I'm not your first rodeo. So keep it up. I ain't ever shutting up. And I will be filing more complaints. And I haven't gotten to the big ones yet. But all of your names will be in my next complaints. Every one of you. Beware. Including all the people that you've threatened. There will be a list of all the people you have threatened who worked here. I have receipts for everybody that worked here. And all of your names. Every one of you. And that goes for local government too. You'll all be on my list. You want to put me on a list to harass and stalk me? Well, I'm making my list. And my list is a factual. It's the facts. It's the truth. Your list is a bunch of slanderous lies, defamation, bullshit. So anyway, I'm done with my rant for now. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And yes, I have just compiled a list of all the animals that were tormented here. And we are going to do an expose with photos and videos. In Jackson County, dog catcher, local people, eating my chickens, scalping my baby chicks, burning a hole in Chicklet's face, poisoning my cat, running over one of my cats when I first moved here. Every one of you is going to be exposed. And people, most people, will be repulsed by what you have done to innocent animals, because you are repulsive. You're sadists and you're sick. And that's it for this evening.